Hey guys, it's Fatali Hobbies, and today we'll be unboxing and taking a closer look at the PlayStation DualSense Edge controller. So before we go ahead and unbox it, let me just do a quick turnaround of the box so you guys see all the sides. So this is one of the sides. It just shows you what's inside. Then you have the back. Then you have the other side, which is just the controller. And back to the front. So now I'm gonna go ahead and unbox it for you guys. And this is the first time for both of us. I didn't watch any videos of it, so I don't know how it looks inside. And we do have that PlayStation Direct seal and just the regular sticker. So I'm just gonna go ahead and unbox it. Just lay it down like this for you guys. First seal. Oop, cutting a bit of the box. It's a bit tricky, okay. And the other one now. I don't know why these seals are a bit harder to take off. I guess I'm just gonna peel this one off because it does seem we are able to do that. Actually, I'm just gonna make a little cut right here. I do apologize guys, I am destroying this box. It is just a bit hard to take that out. Okay, so after that is out, we're just gonna pull this down. We're gonna open up these flaps. And there's another box inside. So let's go ahead and pull it out. So that's all that's in this box. I guess it's just a little sleeve. And now we're gonna take a closer look of what's inside of this box. So we're just gonna go ahead and lift this flap up. And I think there it is guys, wrapped up. We're just gonna go ahead and pull this out. Set this aside. Looks like there is some paperwork at the bottom of the box. Just like that so you guys can take a better view. Just one little pamphlet right here. We're just gonna set this all aside. And now let's take a closer look at the case and this wrapped up little baby blanket thing. Go ahead and open this. And there it is guys. It feels a lot different than I thought it would feel actually. I used to think this was like a fabric, but it's actually plastic. Same thing on the back. It's actually really interesting. I never thought it would be like this. But let's go ahead and unzip it now. So now we're gonna go ahead and just unzip it. We're about to open it up now. There it is guys. In all of its glory, the PlayStation DualSense Edge controller. It has this nice little wrap on it. And it looks a lot different in person than it does look in the in the commercial, the ad for it. But I'm telling you guys, it looks really nice right now. And it has the same feel as the that heavy feel of the Xbox Elite controllers. That's how it feels. It has that nice feel. Let me just grab a PlayStation DualSense one compared to it. Let's grab a side by side. There you guys see, there's the DualSense Edge and the regular DualSense. Just go side by side. So let's get a closer look of the controller. So in the front, it's kind of just like the DualSense, where you have your buttons here, your two analog sticks, and your trackpad. The trackpad here is black though, and you do have these two buttons here that are programmable to whatever you need. So if we do flip it over, in the back we do have our trigger stops. The smallest one isn't a click, it's more of just a slight push down, not like the Xbox Elite Controller Series 2 where it just feels like a press. And here we do have our two little holes where we could put our paddles, and we do have a release button right here. That release button will be able to enable you to remove these two analog sticks and replace them if they do get defective. And back in the front, we do have our share button and our settings/options button. And in the front, we do have our USB Type-C, and it is a bit different because you are able to use the locking device, so the controller cable does not unplug. And we do have our R2, R1, and L2, and L1. So it is basically just like the DualSense controller, but with a little more features. And we do have a rubber padding right here in the back on both sides. So let's go ahead and look what else we get in the box. So in the box on the top, we do have our cable. I will just go ahead and pull this out. It is a really long braided cable. I'll get the exact measurement up here in this corner. And it is braided, which is a nice touch to it and makes it feel a lot more sturdier. And the pouch, the case that comes in does have a little pouch here, and this little piece just to hold the cable in. You do have a QR code here. I will scan that to tell you guys what it does later. But right here, you see where the controller sits, and there is this little compartment here, which will enable you to use the charging feature with this device. So this piece right here, actually, you clip into your charger right here, USB Type-C. We just quickly demonstrate it for you guys right here. You just slide it in like that. It fits in there. You clip it down, and then you'll grab your controller, you'll plug it in, and then right here you have this button, unlock and lock. And when you lock it, it does then allow you to pull out the cable. There are two little prongs that pull out. If I can unplug it and show you guys. Right here, you guys can see these two prongs that pull out, and that'll basically enable it so it cannot pull out from the controller. So let's set this aside and let's look at what else we have. So right here we do have a set of 2 analog sticks. They are a bit different. Here's this tiny one. And I guess they are just different lengths. This one is a bit harder to pull out. Yep, so they are just different lengths. So here you guys can see a little more closer up the 3 different lengths of the analog sticks. Now if we do take a little closer look on top, you can see that the ones that do come with controller right here, they do have a little end cave, and the ones that are extra in the case, they have a little more dome shape to them. So those are the 3 different kinds you could put on your controller. So what else we have in the box is our little buttons pressed right here for the back paddles. So we do have 2 different kinds. We do have a paddle looking kind right here, and we do have a more different style, a kind of button press right here. So there are 2 different kinds of style. This is more like the Xbox Elite controller, and this is just a different kind. I never seen this kind on any other controller, so it will be nice to try them both out. And that is basically all that comes with the controller. And right here they do have an extra little compartment for what they say if you want to purchase extra analog sticks. There is this little compartment right here, and if you push that out, you're able to charge your PlayStation controller from the outside. You just plug it in with the USB Type-C. So it sets this controller different from the Elite Series 2, which you guys always hear me comparing it to, is because it is Microsoft's flagship Elite controller, and I feel like it's just right to compare PlayStation's Elite controller to that controller. So what sets this different is the ability to swap out the analog sticks, and it's simply done by just flipping the controller over. And if you take a look, there is this release button right here. You just gotta put your finger in there and slide it, and as you guys saw, this top panel just pops off. So you're able to just pop this panel off, and as you guys see, there are the little modules with the analog sticks. And I think it's a really good idea that PlayStation included this, because with their DualSense controllers, there was a lot of controller drift, and you'd have to end up spending another $80 on a new controller. When here, you can spend less than half the price for an analog stick. Is what I believe they said it would be $35 or $25, around that range, which does make it nice. I hope they did upgrade the modules though, to where they're more improved and they did not drift, because with the DualSense controllers, I had 2 controllers that did end up having controller drift, and I would have to end up sending them back to PlayStation, and after shipping fees and repair costs, it would have just been better to buy a whole different controller. So let's go ahead and show you guys how to remove these modules. So as you guys see, there are these little levers here. They kind of do look like paddle shifters. And all you gotta do is pop one of them up. It is quite firm. And once you pop it up all the way, you're able to slide out the modules. So we take a closer look at the modules. It does have a nice connector. And it is really simple, no wires here. All you gotta do to put it back in is to just slide this connector back in. After you push it in firmly, you would then pull this lever down and it would pull in the analog stick. And after that's in, you're good to go. Nothing is moving or shifting, which was my main concern with this kind of setup, which it might feel clunky or a lot of cracking noises, but it does feel nice. And to put this top panel back on, there are these two little slots here. You just want to line that with the top ones and just press it down firmly. And same thing with this design. I thought it would be a little clunky or have little plasticky noises when you're holding the controller, but it does not have that. So let's go ahead now and connect the controller to the PlayStation. So we will need the cable and just the controller. And for the meantime, I'm just going to plug it in through the front. And after we get that plugged in, we can just plug it into the controller. So after you got it plugged in to the controller and the PlayStation, you're going to turn on the PlayStation. So after you do go ahead and plug it in and power it on, you go ahead and you'll see this screen, welcome to the DualSense Edge wireless controller. And you're going to go ahead and just press X to get started. And it's just going to run you through all of its features and how to use it. So I'll let you guys read through that. As you guys see, we can reassign all the buttons. We can adjust the sensitivity, everything like that. And you can save custom profiles. And see, these are the buttons I was talking to you guys about. You guys could customize them for whatever you'll need. See, if we try it and hold this button, you can bring up this. I'm gonna go ahead and click Start Now. And we click Custom Profiles. And we're gonna quickly create a custom profile. So I did just go ahead and create a custom profile. It was the most simplest profile. I just had to change one or two things. Nothing crazy with it. So now we're basically set up to just play. I'm gonna go ahead and put the back pedals on and give my feedback on them, how everything feels and works, and just how this whole controller performs. So guys, another part where this controller would really shine is in a game like Ratchet and Clank or Horizon Zero Dawn. And that is where if you hold the, if you guys see, you guys hold the triangle button, it does pop up that wheel. And if you want to use it with the back paddles, as you guys see, I would just have to press this down and I could switch to the custom profile I made called Rift. And now we switch to it. Now if I do run around and I do want to switch to that wheel, I'll just hold the button and I could switch to it and choose whatever I'll need. And then we could go ahead and use that weapon. That's another part where I feel like this controller will really shine and able to keep both fingers on the analog sticks. So another game that I feel like would really benefit from having the back buttons would be a game like Fortnite, where you're needed to build a lot. And if we do want to build normally, we would have to take our fingers off the analog sticks and we wouldn't be able to use this stick. So if I quickly gather some materials, I can quickly show you guys how I could build. Now see, as you did see, I did move my finger off. That's from muscle memory of not having the paddles on the back, but you will get used to it and you won't need to be taking your fingers off of the analog sticks. It does just take some getting used to. And I do have the other button on the back preset to my jump, as you guys see. Now that my fingers are off the analog sticks. And as you guys saw there again, I did take it off. But it just takes time to get used to. So guys, I'm going to give my final thoughts and opinions on this controller. Keep in mind that this was a pre-order one, so I did get the first batch that came out, and there might be some defects later on that I might fix in newer models. But so far, after playing with it for 3 hours, I didn't have any defects, no bugs. Everything was working how it should have been working, and the whole controller felt really firm and sturdy, kind of like the Series 2 that you'd get with the Xbox controller. Some of the features I really liked on the controller were the back buttons. I really did enjoy using the buttons instead of the paddles. The buttons just felt more easier to click, and they felt more solid. Another feature I did like about this controller was I was able to switch profiles really easy. All I had to do was press down that button and choose any of these buttons that were assigned to a profile, which made it really easy when switching between games and really quick. Another feature I did like about this controller was these rubber grips on the inside. They do feel really nice when you're holding them, and it doesn't feel like your controller is going to slip out of your hands. One more thing about the controller before we go ahead and move on to the case were these trigger stops. Now, I did like the trigger stops, but for the last one I did wish it was more like the Series 2, where it was just like you're pressing like a button on a mouse. But as you guys see, it is a bit longer. The Series 2 is really just a click, and that would be it. So let's now talk about the case. As you guys can hear, it is a plastic cover. It does have a thin piece of plastic around the fabric case, which initially I did think this whole case was fabric like the Series 2 when I was watching the trailers, but it isn't. So as you guys can see, it holds everything really nicely. And if you do get a spare analog stick, it does fit right here. They did make a spot for that. And in the back, you do have the little charging port area. I do wish it was kind of like the Series 2, where you're able to just put the controller in and has those prongs where it can just start charging, but this is just as good. So I don't have any issues with the case as much. Everything on this controller is really pristine, and I really do enjoy playing with it. I will leave a link in the description for PlayStation Direct if you guys do want to go ahead and pick this up. Before we go, I am going to quickly show you guys what that QR code was inside of the case, and then we're going to go ahead and end this video. So guys, let's go ahead and check out what that QR code was inside of the case. Just going to scan with my phone. As you guys see, it is a link, and it is a link to PlayStation accessories. I could just get it to focus for you guys. And I guess this will tell you how to personalize the controller, how to use all the buttons, and everything about it. So that's pretty neat that they included it inside of the case. So before I do go ahead and end this video, keep in mind I will be posting a few future videos of the controller to 2 months to 6 months, and my full thoughts and opinions on it later on after using it extensively. So you guys will get more feel if you guys do want to pull the trigger on spending $200 on a controller just yet. So guys, I am going to go ahead and end this video now. I do thank you guys for watching, and for you who stuck till the end of the video to get the full review, I really do appreciate it, and I'll leave a link in the description to pick up the controller. Most of you guys know where to pick it up, just at PlayStation Direct, and you'll be able to buy it. Thank you guys for watching, and peace.